Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. Today we are going to head out to the treehouse, and I've got some decorations and just a few little odds and ends that we're going to add to what I have going on out there. When we were done building it, probably, I don't know, it's probably been 4 or 5 months ago. It had been such a project, and my husband had built it from the ground up. My husband did all the work, quite literally everything. So it was such a huge project, and obviously a big expense at the time when it was finished. We put a hammock in there. I think I have a beanbag in there, and I think I have a few things hanging on the walls. But I just we were like wore out with it because it took weeks and weeks and weeks. So I've kind of just left it alone for the summer, but I know I need to go up there and vacuum. I need to clean the windows. I probably need to do kind of a tidying in there. And then I had bought a few things that I want to add to like the walls. I got them like this little gun rack for, obviously their play toys, but my boys are really into like pretend like hunting and like army stuff. So I just kind of want to make it feel like a fort up there. Just, kind of add a few things to just give the treehouse a little more personality inside. So I'm going to do that today, and then I may do a few more piddly things outside. I don't know yet. We had some storms last night. There was like tornadic activity around here. We were under a tornado warning. So it got kind of iffy outside last night. So I need to go outside and see if there's anything that I need to be doing as far as like if there's any damage to anything or cleanup. So otherwise, nothing too crazy today, but that's kind of what I have on the agenda. I have been needing to do this for weeks, and I have just kept putting it off. So, and then also we got like a pulley system for the boys that my husband's gonna install while he's out there. That's the one thing the boys have been begging for, is a pulley system to be able to bring stuff up to their treehouse. So we're gonna install that today as well while we're out there. Otherwise, nothing too crazy for today's video. I'm also gonna include some footage of me making a peach cobbler. I did that last weekend. So I made one for us, and then I made one for my in-laws. So we've had a ton of peaches off of our peach trees. We have been loving it, and I was overrun at the time and needed to use them up. So I will include that in today's video as well. But anyway, thank you again so much for being here, guys. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free. It just continues to build up my community here, and it also pushes me out into the algorithm and lets people know that I'm here. So, and if y'all have any exciting projects going on, leave those in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, and I just want to build a relationship and community here. So any interaction at all is so fun for me and is truly so enjoyable. But anyway, I hope everyone is having a blessed day, and I will see y'all later.
All right, y'all, here is a quick tour of the treehouse before we went in and gave it a good clean and updated it with some additional decor. My hubby also built a little shelf to the right of the door for our boys to be able to display their rock collection and to set their binoculars and just any little knickknacks or trinkets that they have that they want in the treehouse. So he just used materials we already had on hand, but it turned out so cute, and the boys absolutely loved it. They have been in there every single day at some point playing and utilizing the space, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the space to feel cozy and inviting and to be a place where they want to spend their time.
I initially had this poster, the Star Wars poster, hanging up with tacks, and they did not stay up. So the walls are just like a plywood, a thick plywood, and those tacks just don't, I guess, go in far enough to be sturdy, and they fell right down. So I've got kind of like these real thin, just smaller nails that I'm going to use to drive into the wall to hold this poster up. So unfortunately it was laying on the ground, and I think the boys left the window open at one point. We got some rain, so it's kind of faded and has some water on it. So I'm going to dry it and wipe it down real good, and it should be okay. So hung up. I did spray some glass cleaner on it, and y'all are probably thinking like, that is paper, why would you do that? However, it has like that slick finish on it, and it was covered in almost like there was like some water running down it, and just stuff had stuck to it. It was kind of sticky. So I've got the windows open. It is a very windy day today. I think I mentioned earlier, we had storms blow in last night, and today they're calling for more thunderstorms, more rain. So it is incredibly windy outside right now, and so I have both of the screens open in here, so there's a good breeze flowing, so that should dry it right up. So, and the paper's not like wet, tacky. It was just enough for me to be able to kind of spray any gunk that was on it and wipe it off. And then because it's hanging up in the breeze, it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. So, but my boys love Star Wars. All three of them are obsessed with Star Wars. So, even though this is more of like a hunting, like fort type vibe in here, I still want to include things that they love and enjoy. So, aside from like hunting and all the army games and all that stuff that they love to play, you know, they love Star Wars. So I wanted to make sure to include just fun little elements like that. I know this may sound so silly, y'all, but I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. And some of my favorite shows were like Arthur, and I can just remember Arthur being a kid, or you know, with all of his friends, and they would go up into the treehouse in the backyard, and that has always stuck with me as a kid. It was always a dream of mine to have a treehouse. So, you know, when I became a mom, that was literally a goal for me. And I know that it's kind of a luxury, it's not a necessity, and this entire project was an absolute blessing, and my husband did so much work on this, and it was a lot of time, and you know, it was quite an investment, but we ended up building something that my boys will be able to enjoy for years, and then my grandkids. You know, we're not going anywhere. This is a family farm. We will be here until we pass, and this farm will be passed on to our boys and then their kids. So you know, we put in the work to make sure that this tree house will be here for quite literally generations. So, but that always stuck with me as like having this fun tree house, and it being decorated with like, you know, string lights and all these fun posters, and I've got highlights magazines over here for the boys, and you know, they've got binoculars and you know, cozy rug and a beanbag. So it's just creating like this childhood dream for my own kids, you know, so that they can enjoy it. But anyway, short story long, I've got that up. My husband put together the gun rack for the boys. They brought in their little toy rifles that they got from Bass Pro, and we're going to hang those up on their little gun rack. So. this net, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and order a second one to put on the bottom portion to cover the rest of the wall. I just think it would look better. So, and these are off of Amazon. They were like $6, and I think I just chose like camo netting or something like that. y'all, it is Saturday here. Last night my hubby and I, we went out and harvested some peaches off of our peach tree, and today I'm going to make a couple of peach cobblers. So my husband, this is his absolute favorite dessert that I make, and my in-laws love it as well. So I have made peach cobblers, you know, in the past, and my mom-in-law says it reminds her of a peach cobbler that her grandma used to make. So it's kind of nostalgic and also delicious. I love any kind of pie, any kind of cobbler, y'all. If it can be stuck in a crust, I'm eating it. So I love a good crust as well. I honestly think that may be my favorite part of any kind of pie or cobbler. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and get started on the crust. That way they can chill a little bit in the fridge. And then I will go ahead and get the prep work done for the peaches. So I'm super excited about this. I know my hubby's excited. He actually just ran to town to go get me some lemon juice for the peaches, and then he was grabbing some vanilla ice cream as well. So he told me not to cook or worry today because aside from this, he said he's not eating anything but cobbler. So anyway, needless to say, sorry y'all. Needless to say, he's excited about this cobbler, and I'm pretty sure my mom-in-law is gonna be super stoked whenever we head up here in a little bit with ice cream and peach cobbler. So anyway, let's just get to it, y'all.